Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Never Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure.
Hey everyone, welcome to Stocks Never Trading. My name is Ron, my partner is Dave. Thank you guys for joining. What we're going to do with these shorter form tutorial videos, weekly recaps, forward-looking guidance, earnings, news. We're going to break down SST signals, trade setups, and we're going to talk about the overall markets and what everything is going on. And we're going to be doing these more frequently. And this one is just to get started. So what we want to talk about today is what's going on around the financial markets news-wise. There is certain securities that are making some all-time highs right now. So if you guys are watching crypto, Bitcoin right now is hit 90,000 US a coin, and it can continue. It took a small dip today and continued to come right back up and test that 90,000, and it just recently got rejected up there. We've got Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and S&P trading at highs. Gold sold off a little bit, and crude oil is consolidating. So we will talk all about these going forward in this series that we're going to be doing. And but let's get started off with Forex Factory and some news. There is some red folder news tomorrow morning that we need to be aware of. At 8:30 a.m. Eastern North American News Time, we do have our CPI data will be released and will provide volatility. So please manage risk while trading tomorrow morning in New York, because there's three red US folders. Core CPI, we have CPI month over month, and CPI year over year. So just briefly to go over what these are, when you see core CPI, click on the folder and make sure you understand that it's excluding food and energy. So it's a change in price of goods and services purchased by consumers, you and I. Are we spending our money right now? Are we being more conservative with our money? Because this ultimately affects inflation. So we'll see what it does post election, and we'll be following this for the next few months. The next release will be December 11, so this will be one full month from November to December, and then we can get a CPI reading. So it's actual greater than forecast is good for the US currency. Why do traders care? Because consumer prices amount for a majority of overall inflation. Inflation is important to currency valuation because rising prices lead the central bank to raise interest rates out of respect for the inflation containment mandate. So we've had two FOMCs that we can speak about. 2 months ago, FOMC, they decreased the interest rates by 0.5%, and the last FOMC that we did live was 0.25%. So ultimately, they've lowered the interest rates 0.75%. And we'll see leading into December, our final FOMC of 2024, if they will pause or decrease, and we'll see what they will do. Okay. If you want to read some related articles about inflation and about CPI, they're right over here. We do have now some previous and forecasted numbers. So for core CPI, we have previous month was 0.3%. Their actual forecast for tomorrow morning is 0.3%. So no change in core CPI month over month from the previous month to tomorrow. So we'll see what the actual number is and how it will affect the US dollar. We also have CPI month over month, and it doesn't include core. So this is an overall of the entire forecast. So we are going to see a change in price of goods and services purchased by consumers of everything, not excluding food and energy. And we will get this data also. And we're seeing forecast is the same as previous month. So last month was 0.2%. We're seeing the forecast is again 0.2%, no change. We'll see what the actual number is. Then we do have another CPI, but this one, make note, is year over year. So this time, November of last year, and it will base off of the previous month. So October of 2023, CPI was at 2.4%. We will see the forecast right here is 2.6 year over year. So I can see that they are forecasting a 0.2% increase in the CPI year over year, and we will see the actual number that comes out here. And this will affect the US dollar because it is the currency that it is going against here, the USD. So let's take a look real quick at our charts and how the US dollar is doing on the higher time frame. So let's go to the daily and take a look. Right now, you can see strong momentum. The US dollar broke this resistance right here. It broke through the 101.50 block and it consolidated down here. All of August, all of September, and October we had our breakout where it's been very bullish as of late. So this was leading into our presidential elections, and post-elections is still very bullish. We're trading at almost 106 right now, but we do have previous resistance that we need to make note of because this is what we're coming into some upper supply. So if we can see over here, October of 2023, that's what our CPI year over year is. The data will be released. So we want to know how the US dollar was trading this time last year, and you can see that it got multiple rejections up here around 107. So if we stretch this into the future, this is going to be our CPI data that we're having this week, and also PPI data. So this was our previous supply this time last year, October, November of last year. And you can see that we're very bullish coming right back into it. But what type of response will we get if we do come into 107? There is some also key point of interest on the daily before we come into this red supply box. Right over here, there is this point of interest at 106.50 right here. So let's make note of this. 106.50 is also a point of interest where it had a double top, those rejection wicks that pushed it down, and that made a lower high as of April of this year. Again, it came back up there around 106 and it got rejected again. So it was making lower high from last year's supply, and we can see that we are now currently today we traded right into the first yellow line of point of interest, and we'll see if we can make our way up there. But just know that we do have some resistance that is up there, and the US dollar is making progress, but we will see our CPI data tomorrow. Okay, let's continue moving forward. What else do we have tomorrow? There's a lot of FOMC speakers throughout the day, starting when Wall Street market opens up at 9:30. There's quite a few FOMC speakers throughout the day. Thursday, next day, we do have core PPI. So we had our CPI tomorrow morning, and then Thursday morning, 8:30 a.m., we have again three US red folders, but two of them are concerning PPI. So that's producers. First one, CPI, was consumers, you and I. Now we have producers. So we have the first one at 8:30 a.m. Thursday morning is the core PPI month over month. Previous month was 0.2%. We're seeing an increase to 0.3% in their forecast. Actual, let's read what it is. What does it measure? It's a change in the price of finished goods and services sold by producers excluding food and energy. So when we see the word core, we know it excludes food and energy. It's released monthly, and our next release will be December 12th. And then let's see also, we're also going to see the PPI month over month. So we're seeing a forecasted increase as well on this. So this time last month was 0.0%, and the forecast is actual increase of 0.2%. And this is PPI month over month, and it doesn't include the core. So this one is a change in price of finished goods and services sold by producers. Why do traders care? Because it's a leading indicator of consumer inflation. When producers charge more for goods and services, the higher the costs are usually passed on to you and I, the consumer. So Wednesday, we will get consumer data, and Thursday morning we will get producer data. Okay, and this will affect the US dollar. And we also have our unemployment claims, also our weekly unemployment claims that are released every single Thursday at 8:30. And the numbers are pretty much the same as last week. Last week was 221,000 and the forecast is 224. So just an increase of 3,000 individuals applying for unemployment. Not a significant number, but we'll see the actual number that's released here. And then once we get into Wall Street, you do have some more FOMC members speaking. You have your natural gas storage data. Crude oil inventories. I know a lot of you guys are watching crude oil on the higher time frame. Pay attention to this. Our previous was 2.1 million barrels over here. We'll see what the actual number is, how it will affect supply and demand of crude oil. And make note, please, guys, 3 p.m. Eastern, Power Hour Thursday afternoon, Fed Chair Powell is speaking. Okay, it's not an FOMC event, but he is still speaking, and it will be about monetary policy and can affect the markets. So please trade responsibly, trade with proper risk management if you are going to be trading into Power Hour on Thursday with Fed Chair Powell speaking. Okay, and then let's just move quickly into Friday's news. Friday, we do have some European news, a lot of British news, starting with GDP month over month, and a lot of British folders, all pre-London, 2 a.m. Eastern. Then we will move into our North American session, and we do have some US red folders, core retail sales month over month, and our retail sales month over month. And this will also ultimately impact the US dollar. And we will make note of how the US dollar closes this week. We will do another short video for you guys, probably this weekend, to do a summary of the entire week, the summary of the US dollar, and see how the markets are moving. Okay, so let's look at earnings. We do have some significant earnings this week. We had this morning Shopify reporting, which beat their EPS, their earnings per share, from 37 cents to 46 cents. They also increased their revenue quarter over quarter from 2.11 billion to 2.16 billion. If we take a look at the actual ticker, it was up 21% today. So Shopify hit it out of the park. Prior to earnings, they were trading around $89-$90 a share, and post earnings, they were trading as high as $115 today. Got up to 114 for a 21% gain finishing the day. After hours, they're just take a little bit of a hit, negative 2.3%, but we'll see how that trades into pre-market. So Shopify, excellent earnings today. And if you want to read a little bit about their earnings, you can click on Shopify and read a little bit more of the related articles. What else do we have? We had Home Depot report this morning. They also beat their earnings per share, and they beat their revenue. Going into after hours, we have Spotify. Marathon Technology is a crypto Bitcoin security too. So we'll see how this thing does post and into tomorrow. There is a few more securities here: SoundHound AI, Rocket Lab, Occidental Petroleum, and we move into Wednesday pre-market. Hive is a blockchain technology company, again to do with crypto. Bitcoin Depot, BTM. So we have a lot of crypto earnings this week, with the rise of crypto, and especially Bitcoin hitting all-time highs, 90,000. You got HUT8 Mining Corporation, CyberArk. So you can see that there is some significant plays here in the crypto space. So pay attention to that. Also, we have a big name after close Wednesday. We have Cisco Systems will be reporting. Please, guys, put this on your watch list. Cisco is a tech company that we can take a look at here. It's at 405, and we'll see how that impacts the tech markets. Also, let's go into Thursday pre-market. Walt Disney Intuitive Machines, Advanced Auto Parts. Again, it's look for the big names that can impact the indices that you are particularly trading, unless you're trading these individual securities through options or you're buying shares of the company. Thursday after hours, we have Applied Materials, Post Holdings. No big names on Thursday after hours. And then Friday pre-market, we have a big name here, Alibaba Group Holding. We'll see how this impacts the Chinese markets over here. So Alibaba is kind of like the Amazon of Asia. Should have some good numbers. Earnings per share is $2 and a penny, and the revenue is 33.47 billion. We'll see the actual numbers that come out here. So that will be Friday pre-market, and then we can take a look at Friday after hours, but there's not a lot of earnings on Friday evening. Okay, so earnings wise, that's for this week. What we can talk about also is a trade signal that we sent out to the group today on a gold sell, and I want to kind of explain it. So it was to short gold at 26.10. So this is what it looks like, and I will post it on the chart. We'll also look at it real quick. We'll talk about a pullback. So what we're looking for is, there was previous selling from 2,625 where it was pushing down, making lower lows and lower highs, where it kind of bottomed out just sub 2,600, 2,590, found some good support and came back up. And what we were looking for was to look for sells below 26.10. As it came up here, it traded up, and we're looking for volume to close. We finally got a bar that closed over here just prior to 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and the pullback, and then you can get in on a sell. So let's take a look at how this looks like on the charts. We'll go to gold right over here, and we'll also bring it down to the particular time frame. So we are looking at the 5-minute time frame over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at that 26.10. 26.10. Let's just make a line. Where's 26.10? Okay, so let's take a look here. 26.10. Okay, so right over here, 26.10, we want to make note of this. This was a key area where there was some demand in the market, and as we can see, price broke right over here Tuesday, just after midnight, broke, came and retested it, and then we were trading below it, where we can make this zone a area of supply. And if we stretch it into the future, then we see we're looking for 26.10 to break just over here after 10 a.m. Eastern. So what we're looking for is we're looking for sells below 26.10. Now, what type of structure do we have? What happened above? So it's always important to understand what happened above. I can see when it came to another previous structure right over here, where it was support, or support, then turned into resistance. I can see when it came up at 8:30, when we had that news, COMEX market open and 8:30 news, it came in there and it got rejected. It came in there again and got rejected and rejected. You can tell by the wicks and also how it pushed down. So we do have a significant supply in this area pushing down. You can look at this as a double or a triple top. There was the one top, here's our second top coming in, and then we start to break the actual neckline right here. And what we're looking for is we're looking for volume to give us closure below, and finally we get the bar right here. So this was a bar that closed below 26.10, the yellow line, and it came up green right here at 10 a.m. So we're looking for that significant hourly candle, 10 a.m. time and sales, and we got confirmation of volume closed below, we've got multiple rejections, and we have a double top, triple top formation coming down. So we got confirmation that volume closed below, it opened green and retested the zone and got rejected. There was the push down right here, where it pushed all the way back down into this area of support. And if you miss the 10 a.m. move, then this is what we call a pullback. So the buyers bring it right back up again to test the zone where we were initially looking for sells for the 2610 block, and you get it where it gets rejected and another big bearish candle coming closing below. So if you miss the initial entry, you can always wait patiently to get in at another time. And then this was 10:15 a.m. and then it started to go into the 10:30 move. So it continued to push down, pull back, and make lower lows. If we look at the trade setup, this is what we're looking for that same particular pattern where it broke 2610. It pulled right back up, those 3-bar candles, and then continued to push down. So that was a nice move for approximately 150 pips if you left runners. So that was a signal for and a trade idea for gold to sell it at 2610, and that was this morning. So guys, what we're going to do is more of these calls more often. Tomorrow we have a weekly webinar. We would like you guys to join. It will be at 7 p.m. Eastern. And we have also a free Telegram channel for you guys. It's you can join right over here, and we'll post the link in the YouTube video as well. Guys, if you want to become a sniper, we'd love to have you guys on the team, where we have lots of education. We're going to be going through this and talking about our blog. We also have a free blog for you guys. It's right over here. Come to more, click on blog, and there's a lot of good information here. I'm going to be breaking down these blogs down with charts, and we'll talk about trades that we took with these. Tomorrow, what we're going to talk about is fair value gaps. So what are fair value gaps? And we'll talk a little bit more about these, and how to trade off of them, how fair value gaps can become order blocks, or they can become breaker blocks. So there's a lot that we will talk about. And so please guys, like and subscribe, and join us tomorrow for our weekly webinar, 7 p.m. Eastern, and I look forward to seeing you guys. Have a good day, and thanks for joining.